how would you define innovation? Basically, it's just getting shit done.
Hello and welcome to KIIPSODES. I'm Ice, and today I am excited to introduce Mirko Bernardoni, one of the co-founders of Fiume. And Fiume is a boutique AI company that leverages the power of data science and machine learning to build AI solutions for clients across various industries. And in this episode, Mirko breaks down the technical jargon surrounding artificial intelligence.
Hi Ice, thank you for the introduction. We are Fiume, we are machine learning specialists. Complexly, we have more than 30 years of experience. We're mainly working in legal, energy, pharma, and insurance sector. And we're totally aware that usually AI is something scary and complicated. And honestly, it becomes a lot more complicated when you mix AI with business sector that are equally or more complicated, such as, for example, the legal sector. For all this reason, we renamed AI as Art of Information. When we design an AI solution, we want to create always something that is able not only to master your data and your information, but seamlessly integrate it inside your ecosystem in order to change completely your working experience. In order to do so, essentially, it's a kind of art. Quickly about myself, I'm Mirko, like I said. I'm the former head of data science in Clifford Chance, where I created the data science lab completely from scratch, and I did the same exercise previously in another company specialized in publishing. Let's dig out what is AI. The best definition that you can find is the one from John McCarthy from '56 that says that artificial intelligence is the theory and development of computer system able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. Now, if you look this definition, that is usually used as a standard definition about what is AI, you will see that there might be some difference on what usual people says with AI. That is not only the cool deep learning or machine learning or neural network fancy or that kind of terms that you always heard before. Let's see historically what are artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. Artificial intelligence, like I said before, was coined in '56. Now, the term artificial intelligence, if you go, it might be spans up to the Greek myths, before Christ. Then it's a lot of time that they were speaking about having machine that can mimic human behavior. Machine learning instead, it's something slightly new, not too much new. It's from the '59. As you can see, there are concepts that are old, essentially, given our ages nowadays. But it's more around, let's say, the ability of a computer to learn from experience. And then the last cool term that you hear a lot of time, that is deep learning or neural network and so on. It's a lot more recent. We're speaking about 2000, essentially, or 86, depending on which side you want to look. What does it mean? It means that we are looking at something definitely young, definitely new, and of course, people sometimes struggle in order to understand exactly what does it mean on their day-to-day life. Artificial intelligence, like I said, it's the ability of a computer to mimic behavior. This includes also rule-based systems. What is a rule-based system? Is a system that is able to follow a set of rules in order to make decisions. A kind of a long list of, if something happens, then I take an action, otherwise I do something different. And this is still considered artificial intelligence. What usually you see in the media, it's about often machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. It is the ability to learn with experience. Now, for a computer, what is the experience? It's the data. Then it means that you don't need an explicit programmation like a rule-based system, but you need to give to the system a lot of data in order to can infer this set of rules and make a decision based on the experience. Deep learning, instead, is a subset of machine learning, because machine learning is a big field too. Deep learning is a subset of it that contains everything is inspired by function of human brain, like neural network. Neural network is a concept that was created in the 90s, not the first neural network, or in the 80s, I don't remember. And was about trying to mimic a human brain with the neurons and how these neurons fire information on each other. Let's see some example, how this can be applied on a daily basis in a legal environment. A good example is contract automation. There are plenty of tools nowadays that do contract automation. I believe that almost all of them, they put AI on top. Now, because AI doesn't mean only machine learning, it means also rule-based system, that definition is completely correct. What does a contract automation system? Essentially, it's going to ask you, as a lawyer, a lot of questions, maybe about the contract, for example, where this contract will be signed, what are the legislation that you need to follow, because you might change the clauses based on this decision. For example, if a contract is going to be signed in France, I will have a different set of clauses than a contract signed in Belgium or in the UK. Then what the system is doing is collecting all these well-known questions and answers. Then given the answers, I will create a set of rules that will be used in order to shape the company templates and automatically assemble all these pieces and give you the first draft of the contract automatically. As you can see, it's going to reduce massively the time that a lawyer needs in order to create a contract. Like a contract, you can apply also in other use cases, for example, NDA. So it doesn't matter when you need to create something that is structured and you can follow a really well-defined set of rules, contract automation works really great. It is considered AI because it mimics a user behavior. To reiterate, as a lawyer, if you don't have a tool like that, what you do, you ask yourself a set of questions. You try to use your experience, your knowledge, in order to pick up the right clause to put in the contract. And this is exactly what the computer is doing. This is exactly what the computer is mimicking. Another good example that is a lot more vast, is a lot more big as a set of application, is a robotic process automation. Be honest, the first time that I hear about robotic process automation, I was thinking about a nice robot like Wall-E or similar that was moving the office. Unfortunately, it's not like that. Again, it's considered AI because what it's doing is using a set of rules or rule-based system in order to automate repetitive process and make them as uniform as possible. What does it mean uniform? It means that you're trying to avoid as much as possible exception. Because of course, if you have a set of rules and you have an exception to this rule, if you didn't catch that exception in your rules, you have to handle manually. Then it'll work really well in this situation. What are these situations? For example, release legal or law stuff from repetitive tasks. Might be related to timesheet, might be related to HR, might be related on all these tasks that you can think, oh yes, why have to do every day exactly the same action again and again and again? This is the solution. It can take that set of action and do it for you. There are, for example, solutions that are able to mimic also your movement on the mouse on different applications in order to click on different points based on how you program it, that specific robot. Other example might be record digitalization. That is, again, it's a repetitive process. You have to digitalize a lot of records, then it's always the same things. You can automate that. Streamline client access to expert legal solution for automatically generated documents, such as, for example, if you are a solicitor, you might have a lot of clients contacting you through the website, asking information about some specific, and you can, drive them across a set of rules in order to start to assign the people to the right person internally, and maybe start to create some kind of template on their request. Of course, support function like HR and finance is a really good example too, because again, there is a lot of space for automating in that context. And data protection, cybersecurity is another good point too. Again, it's everything about programming a machine like we are used to conceptually for the last, let's say, 40 years, more or less. You have a set of rules, you can apply that rules essentially on any type of process that you have in your company, in your daily work. And all these examples are still considered AI because we are mimic a human behavior.
Thanks to follow me on this episode where I introduced what is artificial intelligence. In the next one, I'm going to go a little bit more in deep about what is machine learning as a subsection of AI. See you soon.
Thank you so much, Mirko, for this introduction to artificial intelligence. But that's not all. We're diving deeper into machine learning and natural language processing with Fiume over the next few episodes. And if you want more bite-sized content like this, do like and subscribe, and be sure to follow our KIIPS social media for updates on what we're doing. All our links are in the description box below. We would love to hear from you. So do let us know in the comments how you found this episode and what other topics you'd like us to explore. Stay tuned to KIIPSODES.